Good evening. It's Sunday, the 6th of December 2020. Diane Hands bringing you Book for the Day. Human Crossings, 9 stories about refugees. And I've been reading to you the story that I wrote for this book, RUBINA'S story, From Riches to Rags to Riches. And we left the story yesterday with them going to sleep in the truck. And we should look at it as going on a holiday and having an exciting adventure. Maybe. When we wake up the next morning, the sun is shining and I should be happy to be with my family. And yes, part of me is. It's just that I'm so scared about England. I keep telling myself it will be all right. I will be with my family. Father loves England and he keeps telling us that we will love it too. Another day, squashed between my brother and sister, and another, and another. One day just rolls into another. The boredom is crushing. I am not even taking any interest in my baby brother Sammy. I just sit with my arms folded and coat over my head. I don't answer when anyone speaks to me. Saeed pokes me in the ribs to wake me when mother or father talk to me. I am just wallowing in self-pity. We do not need to leave. We have money, property. Father said so himself. Will this journey never end? Father said we would only have to sleep one night in the truck. I've lost count how many nights it has been. Mother puts on a brave face and says, the drive will soon be over, won't it, Nazar? Father replies, it should have been over days ago. I must have miscalculated somehow. I've always flown to Athens when I have visited my agent in Greece. He has arranged for us to collect our new passports at Idomeni. He added, I need to look at my properties in Greece so that if I need to sell any of them, I will know which ones to put on the market. So we have to collect more passports. Father feels the ones we have are not good enough should we need to show them to board the ferry for England. When Father went to England, he went by plane and he had an English passport. He knows nothing about travelling by sea, only what is read. I am making him so wrong. He should have everything ready so that we do not have to travel so far in this truck. We have to travel by road as my mother is unable to go by plane due to her recent operation. Saeed digs me in the ribs and shouts, the sea! I can see the sea! Listen to the seagull squawk. He was fast asleep when we crossed the narrow strait from mainland Turkey to Istanbul. Father parks the truck and starts to tell us what happens next. We will drive to the refugee camp called Idomeni to collect our new passports. I have already paid some of the money for them. Then I will go to see my agent and make an appointment to view my properties. We can then do some sightseeing before we drive to Calais, where we catch the ferry to England. When we arrive in Dover, I will just need to call Ken and we will spend our first few nights with him and his family. We will not have too far to drive from Dover. Ken and Doreen, his wife, with their 3 children live in Christchurch, which is what is called the New Forest. Ponies run wild in the New Forest, and they take precedence over humans, vehicles. We can camp in the New Forest too. We arrive at Idemeni. It all looks so chaotic, untidy and crowded. It seems that everyone is crowding around our truck. No one is smiling. They are just staring and saying nothing. Father gets out of the truck and approaches the group of people. After introducing himself, he asks where he can find Mr. Ben Joseph. The group start to laugh in a cruel sort of way. He's gone. He'll be back in a couple of weeks, maybe. Not talking to anyone in particular, Father says, but he told me to meet him here. One man responds, you and 20 others. I bet you have paid him some money too. Father nods, and the man says, well, I suppose we ought to find you somewhere to park. Well, if he's not here, we'll go and do a little sightseeing and come back in a couple of days. Suit yourselves. Father gets back into the truck, smiling, and says thank you to the group. I'll be back in a couple of days. And with a wave of his hand, we drive out through the gates again. We only go a few 100 yards outside the camp when Father stops the truck and curls up with his elbows resting on the steering wheel, head in his hands. He spends a few minutes like that before straightening up and saying, right, this is the plan. I am sure I saw a campsite not too far away. We'll go there, pay to pitch our tent for a couple of nights, and I can visit my agent tomorrow. Maybe he knows where Mr. Ben Joseph is. Then we'll come back here to see if he has returned in a day or so. Mother is holding baby Sammy in one arm and puts her other arm across Father's shoulders. She speaks somewhat anxiously. It will be all right, won't it? Yes, of course. Everything will be fine. I will telephone Ken to give him an update on our journey so far. And that's all we have time for today. So we're reading you more tomorrow about what happens next. Human Crossings can be found on Amazon. It can also be found on Facebook. Good night, Diane Hans.